Hello and welcome back to the Villa podcast. I am here, as always, with my good friend Dan Wiseman. Dan, bringing the news that we've all been waiting for. Steven Gerrard has been appointed as Aston Villa manager. How are you doing, mate?
We have been involved in a lot of sagas in recent years. Doesn't it feel that way, mate? Doesn't it feel like, the Milo Rashitska one is one. We have a video just like this one, just like an announcement that never saw the light of day.
It never will.
In many a saga. But this one, I have to give credit to the club, was over and done in a good bit of time. We didn't dawdle. We didn't wait. It was important that we gave Stevie as much time as you could ask for on the training pitch with those guys that haven't gone away on international duty. And I think we've given him that. We've acted in good time. It seemed like there was only ever one man for the job that we wanted. We've gone out and got him in very respectable fashion. And I'm proud that we didn't have to wait for this one, mate, because I can't be refreshing Twitter at the rate I have been for the last few days.
Honestly, it's been a nightmare, isn't it? And, sort of constantly making sure we're up to date, knowing what's going on, seeing Steven Gerrard's taking a train to Liverpool to meet with Purslow and Sawiris, with Eden's flying in as well. It's exciting. It's drama that we don't need, but content is what we asked for during this international break, and content is what you guys are getting because, Aston Villa have appointed their manager, Steven Gerrard. It is a deal reported up to the year 2024, and a deal which brings his coaching staff from Rangers as well, with £3 million compensation going to Rangers to acquire the team, which obviously consists of Steven Gerrard, Gary McAllister, Michael Beale, and of course Tom Culshaw, who is his set piece coach. With Jordan Milsom, who is head of performance as well, potentially heading over to Aston Villa as well. So the whole team has come over. Villa have really gone the extra mile to get this one over the line, Dan, to keep Stevie happy, to anger a lot of Glaswegian folk up in Scotland. They're not taking this very well, Dan, but I think, that shows, I think, under the old regime, Villa would have potted about, and we first of all, sacking a manager without a replacement, it could have been months before Villa got someone in. But I think ultimately we've took a gamble. We've put it all on red. I would say black, but of course it's Stevie G, so we'll say red. And we've worked hard to get this one over the line, and I think we've shown a lot of trust and faith in Stevie, in his team, in getting them all over, Dan. And I think, for one, that is something to be extremely excited about, isn't it? The confidence that Villa have kind of instilled in Gerrard to really get this deal done.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And, I put a tweet up sort of a few days ago saying, Stevie G is can't remember what I mean it is then. I had a Villa fan reply to me saying, I'm a bit disappointed that we haven't looked at more options, that we haven't, we would like to have spoken to a few candidates and decided from that who the best man for the job is. And I do get that, but it's very rare that you see that nowadays in football boards. This is not the guys didn't get together after the Southampton game and go, right, who do we want then? Clubs are planning for A, B, and C case scenarios months and months in advance. This is someone whereby if there was ever a situation with Dean, and let's face it, 2021 generally, if you include the back end of last season, wasn't Dean's finest hour. So I'm sure, that there will have been at least thoughts going on in the back of people's minds about who they would potentially like to see step in. And so I think we should not necessarily take cause for concern from the fact that we haven't looked at more candidates, but as you say, take confidence more from the fact that there was only one man that this club wanted, only one man that the club saw suited to taking on this role, and I think that in itself, the Villa fans can draw some confidence from, as I said, because when you see a club act like that, I mean, you only have to look at Newcastle. Newcastle have only really just got Eddie Howe in, and it feels like ages ago since they sacked Steve Bruce, and there's been countless names gone through the room mill. It's going to be Fonseca. It's going to be, it's all these different names that have sort of popped up With Villa, there was never that. It was only ever really Stevie that we saw consistently. And I think, again, you have to give huge credit for the club for the fact that we don't really seem to engage in paper talk and rumour mills. And unfortunately for us, mate, because we do love a good transfer rumour mill, Stevie was only the only other option.
And as well, all the reports are kind of saying that there's been plans for January players already put in place. So, on the transfer rumours, Dan, that is exciting in itself for not just Stevie, but for us and for you guys who listen to the podcast as well. It's Steven Gerrard. This man is just a serial winner, Dan, and we've seen that not only in his playing career, but winning the first league title in God knows how many years for Rangers, stopping Celtic from winning 10 in a row. Sure, there's been some reservations because I think out of 9 trophies he could have won, he's only won the one. But listen, it's the mentality that I think this guy is going to bring to the players, the squad, the respect that he's going to command right from the get-go before he's even stepped foot in the building. It's palpable. The excitement is palpable. I'm here for this, Dan. And I think it's time we all just get on board, as you tweeted the other day, Dan. Stevie G's Clyde Blue Army. Let's get that ringing around Villa Park. The Brighton game is you probably couldn't really ask for a more ideal first pair of fixtures with Brighton and Palace, could you, Dan?
No, it's one of those where it's a really good level, I think, to test ourselves with, because neither of those clubs are going to be a pushover. They're not performances whereby we're going in thinking, right, we're not going to really get to see what Stevie gets to play because we're going to have to defend because we're playing, a Liverpool or a Chelsea or someone like that. They're sides where realistically we can go and get 6 points from those games. There's nothing to say that we can't, but at the same time, they're going to be good tests. They're really going to test, I think particularly Brighton are really going to test Stevie's mettle and see exactly what he can bring to this Villa side. And that game at Villa Park is going to be quite something, mate. It's going to be quite something. My main question is with Steven Gerrard's appointment is, can you fit Stevie G into the John McGinns chant? Is he Stevie G's man? Does that work? We'll have to find out. These are all things that, these are the big questions, which I'm sure have been ringing around the boardroom. Nothing to do with formation or tactics. Like, can you fit him into the John McGinn chant? And I mean, I can't believe I'm going to hear the whole end singing for Stevie G. I mean, what kind of parallel universe are we going through, mate?
Mate, I think he's one of them ones with Lampard as well. I think they've both scored the most amount of career goals in the Premier League against Aston Villa. So not really coming in with much credit in the bank on the playing side, of course, other than being just a general legend of the game. A man who has kind of ruined our childhood in parts, Dan, but we're willing to forgive that for the European ride that we are about to hopefully step foot on, Dan. There's a lot to be excited about. We're keeping this one short and sweet for you guys. We'll be back again to talk more about how Gerrard could potentially line up against Brighton. I think it's probably worth us doing a preview for that one, Dan. Of course, you guys have checked out. Hopefully, if you've seen this one, you would have seen our tactical analysis on Steven Gerrard, the breakdown at Rangers, how things could look for Aston Villa. If you haven't checked that out, it'll be linked in the end card and in the description. But we'll take a look at how the Brighton game could look at as we kind of come up to that. The international break is still happening. Villa have got this done with plenty of time, so there's plenty to be excited about. And yeah, just let us know in the comments if you're excited about this appointment. Stevie G's Cloud Blue Army. I think that's all we've got to say. I'm not even going to ask you to subscribe. Up the Villa.